Hello and welcome to the first annual Literary Award Ceremony. For our first and only award of the night, we have the best use of symbolism. Symbolism is the use of an object or animal to symbolize a greater idea. To be nominated for this award, the nominees must have the following requirements.
The symbolism influenced the rest of the story. At the time, the symbolism should be subtle and not realized until later in the story. The symbolism should play a significant role in the plot.
The nominees for this category are To Kill a Mockingbird, The Scarlet Ibis, Night, and Annabelle Lee.
Our first nominee for Best Use of Symbolism is the novel To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee in New York, July 11, 1960. We elected To Kill a Mockingbird for Best Use of Symbolism because the sense of the mockingbird had a direct relationship with the storyline. The innocence of Tom Robinson is symbolized by the mockingbird. The symbolism influenced the rest of the story because the symbol is brought up several times throughout the novel, and as anyone could have guessed, it influenced the title. Also, at the time, the symbolism was subtle and not realized until later on in the novel, as the mockingbird was only deeply spoken of during the beginning of the story and at the end. The mockingbird also definitely played a significant role in the plot. The story was told from the point of view of the character Scout Finch. The plot of the novel was how young Scout, the narrator, was dealing with all the hate she was getting because her father decided to defend a black man. Atticus Finch decided to defend Tom Robinson because he believed that, in the end, good would conquer evil, which also happened to be his fatal flaw.
Okay. Now, in chapter 10, page 103, Atticus gives the children air rifles, yet he doesn't teach them to shoot. He says he doesn't want them to shoot at mockingbirds, for it is a sin to kill a mockingbird. Later, young Scott asks their neighbor, Miss Marty, what he meant by that. Miss Marty responded with such an answer that brought the meaning of the symbol to life.
I'd rather you shoot tin cans in the backyard, but I know you'll go off after birds. Shoot all the blue jays you want, but it's a sin to kill a mockingbird.
Miss Marty, my dad said it was a sin to kill a mockingbird.
Your father's right. Mockingbirds don't do one thing for us, but make music for us to enjoy. They don't eat up people's gardens, don't make nests in corn cribs, and they don't do one thing but sing their hearts out for us. That's why it's a sin to kill a mockingbird.
Now, our second nominee for Best Use of Symbolism is found in the short story The Scarlet Ibis by James Hirsch, first published in the Atlantic Monthly in 1960. The Scarlet Ibis was nominated for its phenomenal use of symbolism. The symbol greatly impacts the storyline and better enhances the story. The Scarlet Ibis symbolizes Doodle and the death and the blood that surrounded his body. When the Scarlet Ibis fell out of the tree, it wasn't obvious that the death would soon be symbolized further on. The symbol played a great role in unfolding the plot. The plot of the story was how the young narrator had to deal with having a disabled brother. He attempts to help his younger brother be normal, and as a result, he ends up partaking in his death. That was the crisis of the story.
The final scene of the short story is when the symbolism all comes together. The narrator and Noodle are running home from the old woman's swamp because the rain begins pounding down. The narrator realizes that he's leaving his young brother behind, and that knowledge pushes him to run even faster. He left his brother behind in the pouring rain. After realizing he was being childish and petty, he stopped and waited for his young brother to catch up. Yet he never did. Finally, he decided to head back and look for Doodle. He soon found him huddled under a bush. The author uses diction with the word red to symbolize the Scarlet Ibis's dead body along with his young brother's dead body.
Oh wait, I'm being childish. I gotta go find my brother.
Let's go, Doodle!
Doodle. Doodle?
Doodle!
Doodle!
So we continue to the third nominee. The third nominee for the best use of symbolism is awarded to the nonfiction book Night, written by Elie Wiesel in 1956. There are many reasons for this nomination, such as the symbolism of the flames destroying his faith. By destroying his faith, the fire influenced the plot and tone of the novel. The flames and fire symbolize destruction. For instance, how the Holocaust destroyed his faith and will to live. The symbolism was not realized until later on, as the flames had a literal meaning of the Jews who were being murdered by the fire in the crematory. However, flames, as stated above, were explained to be representing those Nazis who were burning them.
In the passage, it's Ellie's first night in the camps. On his way to the camps, he sees faces of many young children being burned. He explains how the image caused him to lose faith in his God. It deprived him of his will to live. Ellie uses excellent diction and personification to show how the fire and the Holocaust destroyed his life and murdered the faith of his God. He also used parallelism by repeating, "Never shall I forget," to show that he truly never forgot the dreadful things that he endured and witnessed throughout the camps.
Never shall I forget that night, which has turned my life into a long night. Never shall I forget those flames which consumed my faith forever. Never shall I forget that eternal silence which deprived me for all eternity of the desire to live. Never shall I forget those moments which murdered my God. Never shall I forget these things, ever if I am not condemned to live as long as God himself. Never.
Finally, our fourth nominee for Best Use of Symbolism is to the poem Annabel Lee, written by Edgar Allan Poe. We decided to nominate Annabel Lee for Best Use of Symbolism because during the whole poem the sea is representing the narrator's life since his loved one had just passed. Annabel Lee's storyline is mainly about her beauty and how the death was cold and respirable. The symbolism also contributes to the tone of the poem. The author uses parallel structure to repeat how the cold sea is the author makes the tone of the poem become more cold and gloomy. The cold symbolized how Annabel Lee's lover felt as she passed, which was cold and lonely. The symbolism was not noticed until the end of the poem, when Annabel Lee dies. Also, the symbolism should play a significant role in the plot, as the symbol did, which was Annabel Lee.
In the final two stanzas of the poem, the narrator's tone changes greatly. He goes from speaking highly of her beauty and life, to speaking of her cold death, to speaking of how their love will never fade. In the final stanzas, he speaks highly of their love and how it's better than any other's love.
But our love, it was stronger by far than the love of those who were older than we, of many far wiser than we. And neither the angels in heaven above, nor the demons down under the sea can ever dissever my soul from the soul of the beautiful Annabel Lee. For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams of the beautiful Annabel Lee. And the stars never rise, but I feel the bright eyes of the beautiful Annabel Lee. And so, all the night tide I lie down by the side of my darling, my life and my bride, in her sepulchre there by the sea, in her tomb by the sounding sea.
Sorry, my co-host, Haley Mackey, went off to fetch herself a snacky snooze, so I'll be announcing the winners by myself. The winner of this award was selected for their stellar use of symbolism. Although the other nominees were very excellent, this one was the clear winner. Drum roll, please. And the award for Best Symbolism goes to The Scarlet Ibis by James Hurst. They were selected for the symbolism of the Scarlet Ibis. The Scarlet Ibis symbolism in this short story played a huge role in the development of the plot. Come on up and accept your award.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh shoot, I didn't finish. This trophy was made especially for the short story The Scarlet Ibis. Therefore, the trophy is rather unique. As you can tell, it was a sculpture of Doodle with his scarlet ibis wings, because he was symbolized by the scarlet ibis wings.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I definitely wasn't expecting this. I would like to dedicate this win to my late dead brother, Doodle. He taught me to accept someone for who they really are, flaws and all. I really wish you were here with me right now. My dear, dear Scarlet Ibis, rest in peace. I still go down down to the old woman's lake. To this day, it reminds me of you. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for forgiving me after Doodle passed. I don't think I could have ever done this without you. I dedicate this magnificent trophy of my brother with representing the Scarlet Ibis to my family. God rest in peace.
God bless your soul. Kirsten, out!
Haley.
Out!
I know that I'm running out of time. I want it all. And I'm wishing they stop trying to turn me off. I want it all.